New York, big city of dreams.
I'm coming straight out.
New York, big city of dreams.
NYC.
New York, big city of dreams.
Yeah. What's going on? This is JLS from Nick and Tom Show. Here, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And yeah, the Knicks have just lost to the Miami Heat for the third straight time. Before horrible, we lost again, 99-88. But the good news is we are still over 500. But I really wanted this game, guys. I really wanted this game. They've been handing to us all game. The first two games were close. We fought back at the end, and I thought this was an opportunity for us to kind of figure it out and get a game back, but it just didn't happen to us, man. We tried it though. But yeah. Before I even get into the details of the game, let me introduce my guys. First and foremost, we have my guy, Mr. Reliable, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G is in the building. Ain't too excited tonight because we just got swept by the Heat, but it is what it is. That's all. It is what it is. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, it is what it is today, man. And also joining us today is Alex Trateros from Knicks, Jets, etc. How you feeling today, man?
You know, it'd been a lot better if the Knicks won today, J. Ellis, Ryan, but we're here. We're living.
We here, man.
Word.
We here. Man. Trying to find a positive for this one is going to be tough. It's going to be tough, not going to lie. But, somehow, we were in this game. First and foremost, we've seen this double team trap the pick and roll scheme from the Heat for the first two games. And the third game started the exact same way, guys. The exact same way. We missed our first 8 shots. And the shots we were making in that first quarter were just tough. We were making contested shots in the lane with Bam Adebayo from the Bayou hanging all over us, And for some reason, we just kind of got it together late. By the second quarter, we were up. The second unit did its thing. Third quarter, we were still up. The fourth quarter, we kind of ran out of gas a little bit. Julius Randle started to come alive a little bit in that fourth quarter. It seemed like he was going to make a run. He was poised to make a run. We saw Noel do some nice things. But at the end of the day, it was Jimmy Butler's team. He scored big in the third quarter, put the team on his back. And it seemed like rebounding was also an issue for us all night. And I feel like rebounding did us in tonight, especially in that fourth quarter and third quarter. We're trying to make that run, man. That's my brief synopsis of the game. So you guys, let me know, what did you think of this game? We can start with you, Ryan, today. What did you think of this game? And tell me what you saw today. Knicks versus Miami Heat, man.
Well, first and foremost, it seemed like the starting lineup definitely struggled today.
Bruh.
When they was on the court, it was like there was no
Continuity?
there was no continuity. Yeah, there's no continuity. There was no connection between the players. I think there was a crazy stat that at halftime, the starting lineup, there was no assist within the starting lineup in the first half. So I thought that was a crazy stat line. And then I feel like in the first half, the Knicks were penetrating to the paint. Then once the second half came, especially that fourth quarter, he just shut all that down, especially with their zone defense. Then the Knicks were just stuck to taking jumpers, and nobody had the hot hand from deep.
Yeah.
So that also did the Knicks in as well.
Yeah, both teams were shooting in the 20 percentile, 27-26% from three. The Miami Heat just seemed to hit more timely threes than anything. But go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, and then of course you gotta talk about that third quarter because that really did us in. That's when Jimmy Butler started to get going, and then the Heat started to knock down some threes, and they were locking down the Knicks, and then from that time on, it's like the Knicks couldn't recover.
Yeah. What did you see today? Alex?
Ryan kind of summed it up, Jay. It was first quarter was it seemed like we started off slow. Second quarter, second unit comes in. You know, they gave you that energy. We saw some scoring. We saw D Rose get activated. We saw Manuel Quickley doing a little bit of work there. Obi Toppin came to life for a little bit.
Obi Toppin came to life for like a minute.
Yeah,
Head
for
fake.
like a minute.
Yeah. That was my little ooh moment for a second. My little one, but you know, it wasn't much of that going on today.
Absolutely. But it was, you know, we had the lead going into the half, and then it was the Knicks' third quarter of doom. But to be fair, the Miami Heat are a very good defensive team. We're a very good defensive team. They were hitting shots timely, as you both mentioned. And third quarter is really when it started to go downhill. We saw them hitting 3-pointers. Like you had that Duncan Robinson shot that was just sunk right in with a buzzer beater. That was just him falling away. You had Jimmy Butler get activated in the third quarter.
That was a big one. Yeah.
Oh man, third quarter of doom was an all activation today against the Knicks. And then fourth quarter, you thought they could come back. They brought it down within 8 points with like 4 to 5 minutes left in the game, and just couldn't do it. He just decided to close it out. You know, it was just a rough one, man. It was a really rough one. Defensively, we were kind of there today until the third. Once they started hitting, you saw it in the players' faces. Once they started hitting threes or like these ridiculous shots,
right? They
started to get deflated. It was like, what else can we do? So
yeah, yo, it was funny. Like the third, there was some pivotal moments. There was some pivotal moments for real. First and foremost, let's address this zone defense. I said something a little bit earlier. I'm not even sure if you was here for this show, Alex. About our 3-pointers in general. The Knicks started off in the bottom of the league at hitting threes by, like, you know, by about a few days ago. We look up, we're 10th in the league in threes, and I feel like a lot of that stretch happened when a certain elf was on the shelf. Like there was a period of time where you didn't see Elf. We had Alec Burks kind of starting in there. We had Derrick Rose in there in certain spaces, and long and behold, the 3-point shooting started to rise. And I'm not blaming this entire game on Elf, but it just seemed like this is the problem sometimes. Like he was able to help a smidge in the first quarter get things going, but at the end of the day, there was really nothing else to contribute to this game. Like we said, 0 assists from the starting unit. There was 0 assists altogether in the first quarter.
Bruh.
Let's just start there. The first assist we received, gentlemen, was in the second quarter. It was like around the 8-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, the ball movement was just so stagnant in the first quarter. It was really bad. And, you know, it was really weird. If we go to the Bucks game, and I know, like, we can put this on Elf to a certain extent that the ball movement is just not there within the first unit. Mm-hmm. It's really weird when we watch against the Bucks. Like, that first quarter, like, he's swinging to RJ. He's actually moving it around pretty well. That game, I was quite surprised because he hasn't been doing that this entire season. But I think once Julius Randle comes back, you know, and being in this lineup, I think Elf just kind of defers to Randle to a certain extent and doesn't help in that manner either. He's still not a really good fit for this team, regardless, and the team should be running through Julius. Absolutely. I'm not saying that it shouldn't.
Yeah,
it's just something that I noticed just between two games. Like when he's out, you saw him like swinging to RJ. I was like, whoa, you're actually passing to RJ without even like a second thought. Whoa, this is news. This is breaking news here, guys.
Right. I could see it. Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because even in that Bucks game, he still froze out RJ in the stint, and that's when I think that's when Tom actually benched him. Actually, I think.
Yep.
Right after that.
Yeah, it was in the second half that it all stopped. Like I'm just saying, it was like for that first quarter, it was like, wow, you're actually playing decent basketball. But no, it's not like. It's not an anomaly, right? I mean, when we see Burks coming in there who can create his own shot, not saying that Burks is like the best facilitator, but he's a threat. And we had more shooting threat on the court with Peyton gone, and we had Burks in the lineup, right? Because we had it's either IQ, Burks, Bullock. You can even throw in Randle there, and it's just more scoring in general. And insert either Noel and Taj. It's just you have more perimeter threat, and it's just gone with just Peyton in there.
Yeah, and I just want to add something right quick. Like, I'm at a point now where it's like I don't care if the Knicks win or lose with Elfrid Payton on the point on the court. I'm at a point now where it's like, you know what? I would rather Elfrid Payton not play and have either Knox or Frank take his spot, in the rotation in place of him, and then just move Rose into the starting lineup, and then have quickly come off the bench, and then have either Knox or Frank take that 10th spot.
Right.
Because honestly, like, as both of you guys said, like Payton just doesn't match. Like he just doesn't match the team and the players we have on the court. And then on top of that, he's a liability from shooting from three. On top of that, so it's like if you're not gonna be passing the ball around, and help the ball move and things of that nature, it's like, what are you on the court for?
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And I mean, he didn't play that many minutes today, right? But it's still too many minutes for me.
19 minutes too much.
19 minutes too much. Because as you can see, this is what's happening, guys. Tom is doing the you can start, you're not finishing. Derrick Rose had more minutes than him today. Derrick Rose had 26 minutes compared to Elfrid Payton's, what was it?
19.
19,
yeah.
Yeah. Also, was he how many minutes did Emmanuel Quickly have today?
17.
17 minutes
Yeah.
for Emmanuel Quickly. All right. I mean, listen, give Quickly more minutes out. Like, as bad as Quickly was playing, I was like, put Quickly in the game, because at least they have to respect his jumper at least a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just another day of the zone just kicking our butts all game long. But Rose had a decent game. Derrick Rose had 16 points. And like you said, he runs the offense a little bit better. He's a little bit more of an offensive threat. Do you now, like I'm always saying, I'm always watching minutes. Do you think he'll start, or is the second unit is just that you think Tom is just too afraid to separate Rose from that second unit?
I mean,
I don't think.
Oh, you can go, Alex. You can go.
No, it's after you, Ryan. You can go for it.
Oh, yeah, so polite.
Trying to, man. Try.
Nah, all I was saying was that the way I see Tom, like, because to me it's like if he's not benching Elf from now, I can't see him benching Elf ever, and I feel like Tom doesn't want to put Elf with that second unit. Like, I feel like Tom's like, if I'm going to play Elfrid Payton, it got to be with that first unit, and then have Rose quickly come off the bench. Exactly.
All
and
right.
And then he's like, you know what? Like you said, Payton's not going to finish the game. It's going to be Rose quickly in there instead of Payton in the backcourt. But it's like, as long as Payton's playing, I can't see Tom being like, you're going to come off the bench with the second unit. I can't see it.
Nah. Yeah. Another thing I have to point out, there's a lot of other things that beat us in this game. I think another thing we have to point out is and we talked about this, the offensive rebounding was ridiculous. It's one of those things today where I don't necessarily blame the Knicks for not being able to get the rebound, because I feel like we were scrambling for the most part, right? The only time where I feel like we really let go of the gas was maybe at the end of the third quarter. I think Julius Randle was gassed. I could tell when Julius Randle is gassed. I can really see it.
He did come back. He did come back from a thigh contusion.
Yeah, he did come back from a thigh contusion. Exactly.
So I'm fine with I'm not expecting him to go off just coming back from injury. Yeah, you can come back. It's not anything super serious, but there's probably still a little bit of a nagging pain there that he's working through. So for him to get in a rhythm, it's not too big of an issue. So, yeah.
No, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. But to me, that was a moment. That was a moment, Lutz, because there was a moment where, Jimmy Butler. It was a moment when Jimmy Butler, he was going off. He scored 15 points in the third quarter. Miami scored 39 points in the third quarter alone. The Knicks were down by 5. And Julius Randle, to me, he was like, all right, this is my time to shine. I'm making a push. He goes down the other end. He attempts to make a layup. He falls to the floor. And then all of a sudden, instead of being down 5, we're down 11. And then the quarter ends. And it seemed like right at that point, Julius Randle had like 3 blunders, or 3 mistakes. And one of them was a big 3-point, a big 3-point shot that the Miami Heat took that he never really even closed out on. He just kind of looked. He just kind of looked. Taj Gibson looked. It was like, is that supposed to be yo? Oh, then tries to close out too late.
Yeah, Iguodala.
Yeah, the Iguodala 3, and then Iguodala was missing everything the whole game. So instead of there was small moments missed, but I think for the most part our defense was good, man. Like we held them to under 100 points like they did us. We just need more shooters and maybe a lineup change or just some coaching things that need to be changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would like to see D Rose start personally. I know he's got a cap between 22 to 25 minutes, but he needs to start. There's just a different flow with him, and I think you could just have, like, you could legit just bench Elf. I think Elf, you can just leave him there and just throw in Frank or somebody else, and I'd rather have the random Frank like 4-for-4 game like shooting than to know that some guy who's going to put up like 15 points on 17 shot attempts and then just put us in a hole. That's not what we need. That's not what we need. You can argue that the defense is there. I really didn't see it tonight. We were getting cooked. So, and defense only goes so far, especially when you're playing the point of attack. So allowing Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, whoever he's guarding, even Goran Dragic, they were all being able to put in that work. So, I mean, Dragic only had 4 points, but he was still getting to his spots and making sure he can get everyone else in rhythm, or just like facilitating the ball. So it's just, I don't know. I think Tibbs needs to do a lineup change at this point. Peyton is like, we get the one good game and then we have 6 bad games of Peyton. It's not worth it. It's
not worth it. It's not worth it at this point, man.
It's just not. And I'd rather see more shooting. Give me more Alec Burks coming off the bench, playing point, something else, just something other than this at this point.
Yo, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I was even considering the way Burks has been playing lately. I was even considering having Burks be the first point guard off the bench, man. The way that guy's been playing lately, and the way he's been shooting, I was like, man, maybe you should try Burks at some point. I mean, I know he closed today. He only gave us 6 points again, 6 points today. He's more of the off guard, and I even talked about it a little bit earlier, man. He seems to play better with the ball in his hands in general. But I know that's not going to happen because we have so many point guards here. But I was even considering that at this point because, just when you're getting zoned all day long, you just gotta try something. You just need more shooting out there in general. And it's crazy because once the game started getting really tight, that's when I think Tom really probably played the lineup he really might have wanted to play without having the political connects, Because at the end of the game, you have the Quickly with the Burks, with the Randall, and RJ there and Noel. You have all the shooting you can in there at that point, and then you're closing RJ. I feel like he might have really wanted to go there at some points of the game earlier, but it's just like politics, man. Like you brought Rose here, you don't want him to, I feel like that, man. Sometimes politics gets in the way of the right lineup. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's just me.
I think it's about time that Thibs goes up to Scott Perry and he's like, you know what? I know you want me to play your boy, but your boy, he ain't cutting it for us right now. He gotta be benched.
He gotta go.
He gotta be benched.
Gotta be benched, man. We missed our opportunity to cut him at the trade deadline, but it's all good. we can have 3 roster spots right now, man. We got 2 roster spots open. We over here trying to figure out how we're gonna sign John Henson and them. Maybe we should have had 3 roster spots and just put Jeff Teague in there. I don't know. Somebody else. I don't know.
Word.
I don't even care about this point, man. Bring me Teague. At least if you don't, at least I know we don't have to play him. All right, there's no politics in that. We can just get Teague and bench him and go, oh no, wow, he has to get acclimated to the team. We shouldn't. I could do that. You know what I mean? I play that card before I.
Oh man.
I'm sure.
He's getting on my damn nerves. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure Tibbs wants to bring in the guy who's like, yeah, you're playing me too many minutes. I don't think that's Tibbs' guy.
Yeah. I need him. That's exactly why I need him because he's gonna bench himself, right?
Exactly. I mean, at least the benefit is gonna be like that's never gonna be the case because there's gonna be so many guys ahead of him. It's like if he does play, it's gonna be situational, right?
Exactly, situational.
So he's not gonna play a lot of minutes. So he got nothing to complain about.
Exactly, he's gonna be situational, and he's gonna complain to Tibbs and bench himself, and then you're gonna see more Derrick Rose and IQ. So I'm all for Jeff Teague. That's my theory.
Word.
That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. All right. Hashtag sign Jeff Teague. if he wasn't
Word.
signed with the Bucks yesterday. All right, let me salute to the chat before we go on, man. Shout out to Tell him Alejandro, Chris Alessandro, CP the artist. Shout out to you, Illa over here, Winston Ellis, into the Knicks verse as well. Shout out to everybody who's rocking with the KOT show in the chat. We were just talking about the Knicks Miami beatdown. We really wanted this game, man, but here's the good news. The good news is we are still over 500 as today. All right, so we can take that with us to the bank. And B, we have the remedy in the Timberwolves coming up right now, right next. So we need this Timberwolves game to get these two games over 500 going. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting some revenge. You know they have revenge on their mind with Cat and them. You know, this is rivalry between Cat and Tibbs. So you know they'll probably be up for this game, but we need to be even more up for this game because we need this win. All right.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts, man. Now let's talk about Jimmy Butler and this weird thing with R.J. Barrett. First of all, R.J. Barrett didn't really score today. He had like 9 points today. He really struggled to shoot. I didn't really see him go off today, and I think. Do you think Jimmy got in his head because there was a portion of the game where he was kind of talking smack, and I'm not sure if it was partially at the ref or partially at RJ.
Yeah, like it's kind of confusing because during the game they showed like a previous like confrontation between him and Jimmy Butler. Like Jimmy Butler trying to coach him.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So I don't think Jimmy Butler has anything against RJ Barrett, but also at the same time I feel like they have a good like camaraderie or whatnot, where it's like, you know what, you know, if we're on a court together, you know, I'm gonna talk a little smack to you or whatever the case may be, or whatever, you know, like it's kind of like that kind of I guess quote unquote relationship on the court that they got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So but yeah, clearly RJ Barrett and Jimmy Butler, they got something on the court. Something's going on there.
Yeah, because I don't know what happened. I feel like you know what happens when star players get pissed off, man. They go off. He scored 15 points in the third quarter. He pretty much carried the team by himself, and he broke the game open. So you never want to piss off star players, especially somebody like Jimmy Butler, who just he seems so self motivated already that he just doesn't need more. But him and Bam Adebayo to me was the difference in this game, really. You know, Bam is a guy who kind of isolates. He played that mid-range game perfectly. He kept faking that drive and pulling up for that mid-range every single play, and it worked every single time, man. And that combined with his defense, it kind of felt like it just shut us down.
And he was grabbing every damn rebound.
Nah, every rebound, and the 7 offensive rebounds sealed the game. The biggest, the unsung hero of the night, even though he wasn't a hero to me, is Noel. I feel like this. I don't know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Noel, he came in and did his thing. He pretty much blocked everything at the rim. 8 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 blocks. He's been filling in for Mitch admirably. And I was kind of nervous because in that first quarter, the shoulder went out. And I thought he wasn't really going to come back after that. And it's crazy because if he didn't, I feel like if he went down, this game would have been a 20-point blowout instead of
Probably.
Instead of an 11-point blowout.
Nah, it definitely would have. I mean, Noel's been such a good rim protector. He's really stepped up so well while Mitch has been out. And even while Mitch is going back out, he's going to have to go back into that role again and just anchor this defense. And he's been doing an admirable job with it, right? So if he went out, it was so scary. You see him like holding the shoulder, like he walks away.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Really?
It's like, again,
Yeah.
I was like,
how much is Drummond going to cost now? Can we
steal him from him? He's like, you know what? Boogie's not looking that bad. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Jesus. If we're going for Boogie, woo!
And I know some of y'all, someone's going to hit the thumbs down because I don't want Boogie, but man, like, who's left now?
Honestly, I'm not even going to front. If Noel went down with a long-term injury, I would have been like, yo, F it. Just sign Boogie. I don't give a damn. Just sign him. Exactly. You started. Just throw him in the starting lineup. Be like, yo. Just sign him.
God.
Yeah, you'd have to at that point, just because you need somebody in the paint to protect. Defense would be a little rough, but you need somebody.
Yeah.
Just a body. It's like when you're playing pickup, you just need an extra body just to play. It's like, yo, I know you're tired. Just stick around, man. Just stick around. We got to finish this one.
just guard the post and grab rebounds. That's it. That's all.
Word.
You do. Guard the post and grab some rebounds. Keep it moving, man.
That's a fact. But Noel did a great job, man. Like, he's been doing an awesome job. So we're gonna need him moving forward. Maybe he should just start up every game, just like working out that shoulder. If this is the type of effort we're gonna get.
Yeah. Nah, I agree with you. This, we need some ice, man. We need some ice on that shoulder, and we need to figure out what we're going to do these roster spots because we are playing with house money right now. So Knicks, y'all need to make a decision because Noel's been banged up for a long time. If we don't get another center in here right now, we're gonna have Taj Gibson playing 40 minutes.
Facts.
And that is not what we need right now, for sure, yo. That's not what we need for sure, yo. Oh man, all right. Salute to the chat. There's not much more to talk about, really. Kevin Knox. I know there's some people tight that Kevin Knox didn't get into the game.
Yeah, free Knox.
Yeah, free Knox, goddammit. I know we all had the free dot movement. Free Knox, goddammit. I know people afraid messed up about Kevin Knox being in the game. Did you feel like there was a space for Kevin Knox in this game? Like, where would you insert him in the game, if any? You know? Because, the second unit for me was our saving grace. They got us a 16-point lead in that second quarter. It made us watchable. They got they afforded Randall time to even sit. So to me, it's only natural that when things start to get tight, Tom would go back to that second unit as is. So where do you feel like Knox would have fit in this game if you feel like he should have played?
That's tough, man, because if you're thinking about the small forward position, even power forward, you have like Jimmy Butler, Trevor Ariza, right? You also got Precious out there. You got Andre Iguodala. Do you really want Kevin Knox ding up those type of guys? I'm not so confident in his defense that I could say, yeah, sure, go try to stick Iguodala for like 8 to 10 minutes. That's not really what I want to see. Same thing with Ariza. Like, we've seen Knox just get, I won't say owned, but he has a difficult time guarding vets who are savvy, who have good footwork, and just know how to get to their spots. I don't think tonight was necessarily a night for Knox to get in there. I know he provides some shooting, and that's what we could have used. But at the same time, not only do you need the shooting, you also need the defensive side as well. So you're kind of you would have to hope that Knox hits a couple of those shots to really offset his defense.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And I know Tom did the thing where he subbed out Obi Toppin for Knox yesterday, and it kind of worked out a little bit. We went a little bit of small ball. But I don't think today was the time to try it. Maybe he'll get some burn the next game, though. You know what I mean? But I do understand. I understand the sentiment. I understand the sentiment of the free Knox movement. He definitely needs more time in general. It's gonna be tough for this kid this year. In general, it's gonna be tough for Knox. It's gonna be tough for Knox, especially with Obi Toppin here. He's really gonna have to show out. It's gonna be one of those things in the summer, man. He's gonna have to put in the work in the summer. Prove he can contribute. Keep going with the corner threes and take another step on the defensive end, and he'll see some playing time for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You said it perfectly. It's going to be between him and Obi Toppin. That's really the position. A lot of people want to see Knox playing that stretch 4 because of his shooting. He's just got to work on his defensive side and just be able to put the ball on the floor a bit better than he is. Like he can. He doesn't. I guess it's kind of questionable because Obi had like a good moment. Obi has shown that he can pass and do those type of things. Not enough. And Knox, when he does take those opportunities, it's not a good finish, but at least he's trying. They're both just in that space where it's like they're trying to figure out their game. They're trying to figure out their role on the team. And it's just difficult for them because they're so young. And, for Toppin, he's coming from being the focal point to being a role player. And then Knox is coming from, no coaching to actual coaching.
No coaching. Bruh. And a shot at Fizz at the end of the game. Oh, man. But yeah, yo, that's our game. This might be a short show, guys. I know it's crazy. It's not. It's rough when we lose like this, man. It's rough when we lose. I'll say this about the tactics, though, right? If I had to find some things to change about tonight games or where we could have done this differently, for me, one, it would have been Alfred Payton playing time, minimizing his minutes, recognizing when the things isn't working faster, and taking him out the game. Even if it's for Alec Burks, even if it's for Derrick Rose faster, just another guard who can shoot. Even if it's for Frank for better defense, but and as a Frank guy though, I feel like it might be even hard pressed to have Frank in this game just because of the defense was there already. So I'm not even sure this is a Frank game to throw Frank in there. Really, you know what I mean? The second thing is the fast break. I feel like we should have been more intentional in trying to push the ball, considering how hard it was to score in the half court sets. And I don't know if it's just that we were so tired switching defensively, and it was such a struggle trying to get offensive rebounds that we just decided, you know what, we're not even gonna run at all.
Yeah.
But if I had some tactical complaints, those would be my two biggest ones. And yeah, maybe just this is one of those games when the zone is going, just be more brave with the lineups and try more shooting. You know, try the shooters. Maybe get quickly in there a little bit quicker when things was going awry and you figured out, you know, the 3-point shooting wasn't going in. You know.
I agree with that. I thought Quickly, even though Quickly was like struggling today, I would have rather had him out there for more minutes than Payton. That's just to have more shooting on the court. You know, if they're setting out a zone, making it hard for us to drive and to attack the paint, then you gotta get your shooters out there and just hope something starts clicking. So, this is where it comes to like Tibbs' like coaching and just really just being flexible in what he's seeing. And if you're seeing that they're putting the zone back out on you, then you got to throw the counter, which is, all right, well, let's get some shooting. Let's get these guys moving. Let's do something to break it all up. That's probably the biggest issue, is that I think Quickly could have gotten more minutes today because Elf wasn't going to give you anything. 0 for 2 from 3-point.
Yeah.
Like 5 points. Defense wasn't really there. Sure, he was attacking and doing his whole thing of going to the lane and putting up floaters, teardrops, whatever you want to call it. But Quickly can actually shoot, and he was trying to facilitate. Give me more of that than putting someone back out there just for their quote unquote defense.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That's all I have to say.
I agree with you there. I know somebody said, well, Quickly wasn't even hitting threes like that. Yeah, that's true. He didn't hit threes. I think it was a shot 4 for 11 today.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, stat watching versus watching the game, right? When you're stat watching, you go, okay, 4 for 11, he didn't play well. And granted, he didn't play well. I mean, offensively anyway. But when you see the impact, just the impact he has on being a threat to shoot is different. And you can see it. You can see the closeouts are different when Quickly is on the floor versus when Alfred Payton is on the floor. So even though he's not hitting the shots at a higher clip, he's still kind of creating more opportunities and giving other guys more time to, you know, make a decision just by being out there on the floor. In general. So that's why I'm for Quickly playing more minutes, and you know, hopefully it happens. Hopefully it happens. I know it's going to be between him and Derrick Rose. Elf is not playing well, and you know, Derrick Rose is going to be the first point guard off the bench from here on out instead of Alfred Payton, just because that's just the way it is. But I definitely want to see more Quickly. All right.
Yeah, and to add
most
on.
definitely.
And to add on, it's just, what do shooters do? They got to shoot. Like, you just let them keep shooting, get them out of their funk. You know, you don't like. It was like 2 seasons ago, Clay would have like games like this where it's like he'd have like 4 for 11. It's like, oh, Clay's in a slump.
Yeah.
And it's like, Kerr would be like, just keep shooting. You're gonna get out of it. And then sure enough, Clay would just get out of it. And I'm not saying Quickly is Clay, but he's a shooter, and shooters got to keep on putting it up to get that feeling, to get it going. So I'd rather see Quickly go 4 for 11 once again than Payton go 2 for 4 and not offer a hell of a lot. So
Nah, you're not. You're absolutely right. Because look, Bench had 23 points in the first half, man. And quickly by himself has shot us back into games in the fourth quarter multiple times. Multiple times. So I just, it is what it is at this point. But hopefully the coach looks into giving him some more minutes, especially in the fourth quarter. Because he's just such a threat out there. But I know it's going to be tough. It's going to be trying to choose between him and Derrick Rose. Your steady veteran who you've known for almost your whole coaching career versus this kid who you just is starting to learn the game. But I think it'll be okay. Give him some rope at some time,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Salute to the chat, man. Salute to the chat. Short post game today. Shout out to Fritz. Shout out to Sai Hazik. I saw Sai Hazik said rebounding was a problem as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier. The rebound is definitely a problem. But you're right. Yeah, Bam Adebayo had 70 offensive rebounds by himself, and I know Alex.
Pretty much.
Alex was talking about the offensive rebounding stats a little bit earlier, and what was it, Alex? 13-6, 13 offensive rebounds to 6, and especially in that crushing fourth quarter when we were trying to make that push, we got it down to 8, and it just seemed like we made stop after stop after stop just for them to hit a 3, and when things like that happen, it's just really deflating. It's just deflating. But it is what it is. The Heat are really good. Despite their 6-game losing streak, the Heat are just good, man. They're just really good.
you know what we really missed tonight, though? We missed Alec Burks' phenomenal shooting that we had over the past couple of games. That's really what we needed. I don't know if we really touched on that. Or he had a whole 5-game stretch of 20+ points, and then tonight we got 6. He struggled tonight as well. Just couldn't really find his rhythm and get enough shots up. But I feel like we needed more Burks tonight coming off the bench too.
Yeah, now you're right about that. And I was saying before, overall, he seems to play better with the ball in his hands. He didn't have the ball in his hand that much, but he still at times can be a clutch 3-point shooter. There was a moment in the game where we started trying to make a push, and that was also a key moment when they swung the ball at Alec Burks and he bobbled the ball.
Yeah, in the corner 3.
Yeah, and it's funny. I got so used to seeing Burks hit that corner 3 so consistently. I'm like, oh, he's about to hit it, and he caught it, and then he bobbled it, and I was just like, damn, that's it. That's the game right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the game right there. And then I think the other play late in the game where Julius Randle had the ball and he was stripped and it went down for the alley hoop dunk from Hero to Butler.
Yeah,
that pretty much sealed the game as well. And I was just like, yeah, this game's done.
Yeah, this game is done, and I can't stand it. After that, I was just like, I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here, man. It sucks, man. The Heat, the Pat. Oh man, it just pisses me off. It just pisses me off. There's not really other Knicks news that's going on today. We know Woodson left. He sent a heartfelt goodbye. He thanked the Knicks organization and their staff for letting him go to Indiana University. And he also shouted out Dolan, man. Dolan gets a bad rap, but he gave him a big shout out. Yeah, he said Dolan gets a bad rap, but he let him out of his contract and let him sign with the team of his dreams. So congratulations to Woodson. You'll be missed. It's gonna suck to have you gone because you were the voice of reason. And
yes, sir.
That guy who's going to soften Tibbs' screaming at Obi, like he's going to he's going to coddle Odie, give him a hug when he's talking smack to him. So
yeah,
it's gonna be tough to see him go, but good luck to you.
Exactly, and then you gotta remember, Woodson is the last Knicks coach to have a winning record and take the Knicks to the playoffs, second round.
Exactly, it's your boy Mike Woodson, man. But ahead of his time, man. He's the first Knicks coach to just be like, you know what? Let's let it fly. Just shoot threes. Just keep shooting. That's what we do.
Facts.
I mean, now we might. I don't know. There's a stretch where he's shooting more threes this season. Maybe it was his idea. I don't know. Because he likes to get him up.
I think it's. I wrote about Woodson when he came back to the Knicks for Hoops Habit. If I'm remembering correctly, and it was after he brought the Atlanta Hawks out of that terrible phase where they just had losing after losing season.
Mm-hmm.
there is no lower than a 10th offensive rating that he was a part of. Like whether it was with the Hawks, the Knicks, or the Clippers, teams just knew how to score when he was on the bench. So it's gonna, he's not only the voice of reason, but he is an offensive like mastermind. Even though he doesn't really get the same thing like we'll give to like D'Antoni for like the 7 second or less like Suns, right? But Woody is a smart offensive guy. But on the bright side, we got now a feeder system from Indiana.
Thanks, Indiana. Yeah, we talked about the coaches yesterday who we want to bring in, man. We was talking about Kenny Atkinson and those guys. Maybe we'll bring in if we can pull Kenny Atkinson or another coach who can kind of help the offense. Yeah, that'd be dope. And help this team along, somebody that's respected around the league to fill his spot. I'm with it because he's gonna be sorely missed. So maybe we won't get a Woodson clone, but maybe we'll get somebody who can fill another role.
Yeah.
Hope so.
All right. And also, the other small news today is Mitchell Robinson had successful surgery. All right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, not wrong button.
That's definitely not a bro.
There we
Definitely
go.
not a bro.
There we go. Ooh for Mitch. So get well soon to you, Mitch.
Yeah, I think we need a money making Mitch though.
Oh, you need the money?
Rejected.
Wait.
Money, make it Mitch.
All right, it's not labeled. It's off the brain. All right, cool. So shout out to Money Making Mitch. He might have lost some of his money though because he's not gonna be resigned probably. I mean, he's not probably gonna get an extension unless the Knicks just show some good faith and give him some money early. I don't expect it though. But yeah, get well soon. Hopefully, we'll have you back in time for the playoffs when we face the Charlotte Hornets. Calling into existence, Charlotte Hornets. First
Yeah,
man.
call to existence.
Calling into existence. Let's go. Yo, shout out to you, Iller, man. Shout out to you, Iller. He says when D'Antoni was coach, he said when D'Antoni was coach, didn't the Knicks hire Woodson for defensive purposes?
They did.
Yes,
Yes,
they
they
did.
did. Yes, they did.
They did.
And then when
They did.
D'Antoni was fired, that's when Woodson took over and
Yep.
off to the races, man.
Yes, sir.
54-win season. Shout out to you. All right. Yeah, that's our show. I'm not sure what else is to talk about. Only thing that's left for the Knicks that's a mystery is who are the next 2 players to be signed to the New York Knicks. That's the only thing. And we talked about it extensively yesterday. I'm still team. I still feel like it's gonna be likely John Henson. We talked about John Henson before. He was like number 5 in block shots in 1 year in the league. A guy who's been around for a while. He's had some big games, some big double-digit games, double games, and he seems like might be the most likely according to Ian. You know what I mean? And that's that other spot though. I saw Iller mention Corey Joseph. Maybe that can be it. He was nice in Toronto, and
It's a decent point guard.
yeah, he's a decent point guard. I'm not sure if we're gonna go the point guard route though. I still feel. You think so? I feel like it might be a wing route.
Who?
I think it's a big,
You
especially with Mitch going. I think it's a big.
think it's gonna be 2 bigs?
Maybe not 2 bigs, but one of them is definitely gonna be a big.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now I know one of them is gonna be a big.
Yeah.
I definitely know one of them is going to be a big. But we released Ferguson yesterday, so I'm thinking maybe we're gonna sign somebody else. And that's
It
what I'm trying to
might
figure
be a wing.
out. Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, it might be a wing.
Maybe, unless you want to revamp the point guard situation if you're not so fully invested in Peyton.
I am not invested in Peyton whatsoever, but I don't even think we need to revamp it. We can just let him go. Like I'm good. I'm cool with Derrick Rose and I'm personally cool with just Derrick Rose and quickly and call it a day, man. I'm really in.
Well, the cool thing that we could do is start D Rose and have Quickly and Burks run that dual
exactly.
guard, and you could throw Frank in there on the wing, whatever. See what happens. You could do something along those lines.
I can definitely see that. Fritz said Mo Harkless. Ugh. I get it though.
Bring the St. John kid home.
Mo.
I wouldn't mind if it was Mo Hawkless. I mean, he's not gonna really get playing time like that, and he's a solid veteran. It's like, why not?
He is a solid veteran. He could give you, but it's like I don't get it. Might as well play Frank at that point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true that. I mean, then on top of that, you also have to think about it like, is Mo Harkless going to really be accepting of a bench spot? You know what I mean? Like
At this point, you don't have a choice.
I think he's going to want playing time. That's the thing. Like, I don't think he's content like taking like a permanent bench spot where he's going to be sitting on the bench most of the time and just, sitting there chilling with Theo Pinson and everybody. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I don't know. I think if you did sign him, you don't have a choice. Like, he's not playing over RJ and Bullock. That's not happening.
Yeah, so.
And even Alec Burks, no, that's not happening. It's going to be, it's going to be Knox or, I don't know, something like that. It's not happening. All right. One more shout out to the chat. Salute to the chat, man. Thanks for rocking with us. Yeah, the Knicks lost to the Miami Heat, but listen, we're going to be right back. We're facing the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves aren't exactly playing at a high level right now. So we'll be able to get a nice little bounce back game versus the Timberwolves. This is a must-win game. Hopefully you don't fall asleep at the wheel. Randall should be back. It should be more of a rhythm. It's kind of rough to cut your first game back, even though it was in a long sitting. To come back against Miami Heat, maybe it had a lot to do with his rust. But hopefully he'll be back better than ever. Hope RJ too. He had a rough game today. But as I say, I'm never worried about RJ. I feel like he's gonna bounce back. It seemed like his 3-point shooting suffered a little bit today. He's been hitting that corner three consistently for the last 2 games, not so much. But yeah, hopefully he bounces back. And yeah, just like Jose said, I'm hoping Peyton will be situational. Situational Peyton. But shout out to go ahead, Ryan. You want to say something?
No, I was just saying that he should be only in the game on defensive possession. That's it.
Defensive possession. That's flat.
hockey rotation in there. Just throw him out there.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do defensive possession, you might as well just do Frank at that point because he plays the best point guard defense on the team.
Yeah, he definitely plays better defense than Peyton. So
yeah, exactly.
So maybe his situational is gonna be cheerleading off the bench.
Yeah, he can have a Theo part 2. I'm with it. Teague, let's go. I'm with it. Theo part 2. You can be a cheerleader. Pass him a pom pom. Keep it moving. All right.
Word.
All right. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Winston Ellis telling Alejandro. Winston says growing pains for a team learning how to win. Yeah, it's growing pains, and at the end of the day, we're still tied for 4th. So, I like that type of pain. Winning pain. Winning record type of pain.
Word.
That's a fact.
Iller says RJ has scored 20-plus points in 21 games this season. I'm not worried about RJ. You're right. Oh, never worried about RJ. Hit the nice stat, man. He'll be bouncing back in. The Timberwolves just have that that thing that helps teams get better.
Used to be the Knicks. Now it can be the Timberwolves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Ronnie said. Oh, go ahead.
No, you think the Knicks gonna bring back Joakim Noel?
That's not. No, nah. No. I'll quit. If Tibbs brings that to I'll quit. Alex, Ryan, y'all can run the post game. I'm out. All right. Oh man. Ronnie Sanders says we'll win 4 in a row at some point. I don't think it's happening this season.
Might be next season.
Yeah. Andrew Caroli. I don't know how to say your name, man. Andrew Colo Desige says Randall needs a day of rest.
He got his day of rest, though.
Yeah, he got his day. But his thigh is still bruised up. So I get it.
Yeah. He'll have tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Old head says that's what we should get, paying Peyton out of the start to Rose with Quickly and Burks off the bench. I get you.
Yeah, I feel you.
Nick him up says, what's Mitch's timetable to return? We're not sure. I know Raw was looking up timetables and he was saying 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. That was a guess, though. All right, man. I think that's all. That's it, man. That's it. Wrapping up the show. Thanks for watching, guys. Yeah. So Ryan, do your thing, man. Tell them where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on Instagram at Sir G is chilling.
Sir G is chilling.
That's SIRGCHILLIN. You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT.
All right, that's on Twitter at RyanGKOT. Where can they find you, Alex?
Jealous, Ryan. Always good doing the post game with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Knicks Nation. You can find me at on Twitter at Stratocaster101. You can find some of my work at KnicksFanTV.com. You can also find it at Hoops Habit, part of the Fansided Network. You can find the podcast Knicks, Jets, etc. on all streaming platforms. And if you're into sports betting, you can also check out Tally Site.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. All right, so you can find us at the KOT Show on Twitter. And Knick of Time Show on Instagram. And you also find us as Facebook as well. Also, check out the blog at theknickoftimeshow.com. All right. That is our show. It will be back for the Timberwolves show. I'm not sure if we're going to do it that night or the next day. We're going to talk about it. And definitely check it out. Check your notifications. I'll let you know. And we're out of here.
Peace.
All right.